What's up guys, it's Mega giving you yet another deck for Link Evolution. Today guys, we're doing a Battlin Boxer deck. This deck's of course my own opinion at the end of the day, and it's completely cool if any of you guys disagree with any of the cards shown in this video. Battlin Boxers is the deck used by Alito in the Zexor anime, and it's actually not a bad casual deck. I'd say it's definitely not a strong contender by any means, and it's a very fun deck to play nevertheless. I'm not running the traditional rank up cards that people normally play in this. That I think it's Star or Comet Scepters. I think it's Comet is the rank up version. I'm not running him because I just didn't want to run it. I just felt it just clogged the deck up a bit, and I just didn't really want that on my conscience really. This deck is more focused on going into avramax pretty much turn 1, and then using your Xyz monsters to either stall or to just go power play into your opponent pretty much. If you're struggling to make this deck or any deck shown so far, guys, check out the card hub. Not if they tell you cards in this game or not, tell you where to find it. Like any challenge mode, any campaign, and any of the card packs. That is in the description down below. And with that, let's get into the video. Starting us off, guys, is 2 copies of Ash Blossom Joy Springs. Yet the little girl is back, and with a vengeance. So if your opponent activates any effect that special summons from the deck, sends a card from the deck to the grave, or adds a card from the deck to the hand, she just shuts it down. Fantastic hand trap. On to some Battlin Boxers themselves, guys. A lot of our cards are actually fire, apart from a Performer Mage. Mage we'll get into that in a bit. So we've got 2 copies of Counterpunch. Counterpunch is great because it doesn't really matter if it's in your hand or graveyard to trigger its special ability. So during either player's battle, or during a damage step of either player's turn, when a Battlin Boxer you control would attack or is attacked, you can banish this card from play and give your monster 1,000 more attack points. It can help you close out games, and also it's kind of handy if it's in the graveyard and your opponent doesn't know that it's, or like they just forget it's in the graveyard because they attack into one of your monsters. Just give it 1,000 more attack points. Boom! Very nice. Nice. We've got 2 copies of Glassjaw. Glassjaw I like because it has 2,000 attack points, which is nice. It does have a downside where if it's targeted for an attack, it is destroyed. So that means any monster can get over Glassjaw. And it also has an effect where if it's sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can target a Battlin Boxer in your grave, except for itself, and add it to your hand. Really great to recycle your graveyard, especially when you want to get those key cards. We've got 2 copies of Headgeared. Headgeared can send any Battlin Boxer from your deck to the grave upon being normal summoned, which means he could send that Counterpunch if you want to, or he could send Glassjaw if you want to like add a card from your deck from your graveyard to your hand. And then we've got the lone copy of Shadow. Shadow you can special summon from your hand by detaching a Xyz material from a Battlin Boxer Xyz monster, which is actually not bad. Especially, it's kind of good if you combine it with Lady Oak, because it will trigger Lady Oak's ability, and then obviously you get a free monster special summon. We've got 3 copies of Spara. Spara is great for turn 1 plays, I find, because if you control a Battlin Boxer monster, special summon this card from your hand. The downside is you can't conduct your battle phase for the rest of the turn. So going turn 1, especially going first, absolutely fantastic because you can't attack obviously on your first turn. So it's just great there for extra fodder for either Link plays or for going into your Xyz plays. And then we've got 3 copies of Switcher? I call it Switcher, I call it that. When this card is normal summoned, you can target a Battlin Boxer in your grave and special summon it, which is actually not bad because it just equals a straight up Link 2 monster, it could link, or a rank 4 Xyz play. Downside is you cannot special on any monsters except for Battlin Boxer monsters if you trigger this card's special ability. So you can't actually go into Link plays if you use this card's effects. Obviously they're not Battlin Boxers, but you can go into rank 4 plays. We are running 2 copies of Veil, so if you take any battle damage, special summon this bad boy from your hand, and then you gain life points equal to the damage you take. And this effect is not once per turn, so if you had 2 of them in your hand, it's actually great because you could just like special summon 1 in attack mode, you gain life points back. If your opponent crashes into it again, you just you special summon out the second one and gain more life points. Great for like recycling that damage through if you want. And then we've got 2 copies of Hat Tricker. I like Hat Trick in this deck because you can special summon monsters pretty easily, and if you control 2 or more, or if 2 or more monsters are on the field, doesn't matter if like you could even have no monsters in play and your opponent has like 2 or more monsters. Special summon this bad boy from your hand. Pretty nice. Also has an effect where should your opponent try and do effect damage, you can place a counter on this and basically make that effect damage 0. So It actually has an on-field effect, but you don't really use it all too much. It's just great for an extra push to go into rank 4s or to help you go into link plays. And then finally, we've got 2 copies of Spirit of Flames. All of your Battling Boxer monsters are fire monster, are the fire attribute, so you can remove one of them from play, special summon this bad boy. And also, guys, Ash Blossom is also a fire monster. So, for instance, if you did like negate an effect with Ash Blossom, which is in the grave, you could just remove Ash Blossom from play, special summon this bad boy, and it's just a free level 4 fire monster to help you go into higher link plays, and again, rank 4 plays. On to some magic cards. We are running 4 equipped again because we are running the Ishtode. Any warrior deck will run Ishtode, so we're running those 4 vital equip cards. All of them are basically a different version of a Monster Reborn, so we'll get into them when we get to them. Because if Ishtode is, well, through Ishtode's effect, you have to send the equip card from the deck to the grave. So if it's in your hand, obviously you can't send it to the graveyard. So if they're in a hand, we want to use them. So for Autonomous Action Unit, if it's in your hand, you can pay 1500 life points, target a monster in your opponent's graveyard, special summon it, which is actually not bad because it's like a monster you're born from your opponent's side, and then you can just go straight into a massive link 4 or link 2 play or a rank 4 if you special summoned a monster for a level 4 monster. We've got 3 copies of Battlin Boxer Spirits. It's like the Monster Reborn in archetype for this deck. You send the top card of your deck to the grave, and then you get special a Battlin Boxer monster from your graveyard. Pretty nice. And again, you could send the top card of your deck. Could be like a Glassjaw. You get to add a monster from your deck. Then obviously Glassjaw's effect could trigger, and then you get to resurrect Glassjaw. Then you get the monster back from your hand. That's if you get lucky, but stuff like that can happen. We've got 2 copies of Called by the Grave because the last thing you want is to get hand trapped, and obviously, last thing you want to do is get hand traps because, for instance, Ash Blossom, Ghost Ogre, Effect Veiler, they go to the grave. In order to activate their use. You chain them with Called by the Grave because you can target one monster in your opponent's graveyard and banish it, and should you do, you negate its effects. So it's a great way to stop hand traps. The only 3 hand traps that get around Called by the Grave is Nibiru, Gamma, and of course Nibiru. So you can't get over everything. And also, should your opponent try to activate like a Monster Reborn or like an in-archetype Monster Reborn or stuff like that, or Call of the Haunted, you can chain it with Called by the Grave, remove their monster from play. That way, they basically waste their card. Another magic card is DDR, Different Dimension Reincarnation. It's like a Monster Reborn that activates if cards are banished. So you discard 1 card, target one of your banished monsters, special summon it. And it's great to combine it with Counterpunch because Counterpunch banishes itself from play, special summon its effect, and also through Spirit of Flames, your monster gets banished. Just bring it back with DDR. Should it be in your hand if you obviously can't play it with Ishtode. We've got a Foolish Burial, can send one of our monsters from the deck to the grave. Great because if you have, for instance, monsters in your grave, you could just send Glassjaw to the grave. Glassjaw's effect will trigger because it was sent to the grave by a card effect. Or if you didn't want to do that, you could just send the Counterpunch straight to the grave, and it sets that up beautifully. Or if you have Switcher in your hand, again, just send a monster to the graveyard, normal summon the Switcher, boom, rank 4 playboys. We're looking at 1 copy of Instant Fusion because again, I want to try and get Ishtode out as quickly as possible. And for instance, if you have a 1 normal summon monster plus Instant Fusion, you could still go into Ishtode because it needs 2 warriors. So we're in that one lone warrior monster in the extra deck. When you 1 copy of Living Fossil, again, it's a Monster Reborn and it is a equip card, obviously for Ishtode. Its effect is you can target a level 4 or lower monster in the grave or in your grave and special summon it. The downside is any monster that's special summoned through Living Fossil, it is banished should it leave the field. But here's a little tip, guys. If you did an Xyz play with the monster you resurrect with this card, obviously you get around Living Fossil's restriction because obviously when you Xyz summon, Living Fossil goes to the graveyard. The monster you brought back is now a overlay unit. Then it just goes back to the graveyard. Nice little way to get around Fossil. When running the actual Monster Reborn, you can target a monster in the graveyard and special summon it. Great for a combo extender, extend your plays. Running 1 copy of Overdone Burial. Again, it's a Monster Reborn. Born by activate you. Target 1 monster in the grave, discard this, or discard 1. Sorry, you discard one monster, target one monster in the graveyard whose level is lower than it, and then you get a special summon it. Pretty much it. Again, extend your combo should you need to. And then we're running Reinforcement of the Army because all of our monsters near enough apart from Ash Blossom and I believe, all of your battling boxes are warriors. Reinforcement searches them all out. Then we're on to some trap cards, guys. We've got 3 copies of Infinite Pertinence. Hand trapping itself, guys, because if you control no cards, you can play it from your hand. And its effect is, should your opponent activate a monster effect, or should your opponent have a face-up monster on the field, you can negate its effect. Pretty nice. It's like an Effect Veiler, but a trap, but better. Because again, Effect Veiler can't be called by the grave. Infinite Pertinence can't be called by the grave. It also has a niche on field effect where if you activated it, any spell or trap that activates in the same column is also negated for the rest of the turn. So very nice all around. Then I've got 2 copies of Lost Wind. I decided to add Lost Wind in because it just gave the deck more protection than it needs to. Because again, being a bit of a low tier, it needs all the help it can get. Lost Wind is like a different version of Infinite Pertinence because you can target one special summon monster on your opponent's side of the, or one special summon monster on the field, but mainly going to choose your opponent's monsters. Its attack point is sliced in half, and also its effect is negated. So again, it can shut down your opponent's monster effects. It also has a graveyard effect, where should your opponent special summon from the extra deck, you can set this card from your graveyard, but it is banished if it leaves the field again. So it does have some pre-uses. And then finally, running the 1 copy of the Phantom Knight of Shade Barrage. If I could run more of this, I would. I think you could take out the Lost Winds if you really want to add in 3 copies of this. Its effect is basically, it's a free warrior monster. Again, it helps you go into Ishtol, and also it is a rank a level 4, so you can go into rank 4 plays with this. And if you have no traps in your grave, you can activate this card the turn you set it. So just this, an instant fusion, sets up Ishtol without even using your normal summon. And that's it for the deck, guys. Going to the extra deck, we are running that lone copy of Carabonala Warrior. I can never pronounce this guy's name. Basically, you use him with instant fusion because it's just a free warrior to go into Ishtol. Also, it is a level 4, so you can go into some rank 4 plays. Running one of the best ranks in the game, and that is Abyss Dweller. Should any monster activate its effect in the grave, Abyss Dweller just shuts it down, really, because once per turn, which is a quick effect as well, you detach one exterior, your opponent cannot activate any card effects that trigger in the graveyard. Really great. We're on some battling boxers. We're running 2 copies of Lead Yoke. He's one of the best battling boxers in my opinion, simply because he can't be destroyed in battle, basic or by card effects, like twice realistically. So you need 2 level 4 battling boxers, not very hard to do. And if a battling boxer you control will be destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can detach one exterior from this card and basically negate its destruction, so it's not bad. And also, if this card loses an overlay unit, it will gain 800 attack. So if you get rid of both its overlay units, Lead Yoke is up to up to 3,800 attack points, which is nothing to scoff at. And then we've got the lone copy of Star Scepters, so Comet Scepters is the rank up. We're not running Comet Scepters because I just didn't have, I just didn't want to run the rank ups really. So during either player's battle step, if a battling boxer monster you control would be attacked, you use 1 overlay unit, you can basically negate the monster's destructions that basically can't be destroyed by battle, and also your opponent would take any battle damage you would take. So it's actually not bad. It's a great way to save your monsters and just inflict a huge points of damage to your opponent if they've got like a beefy boss monster. We are running Utopia because I am running Utopia the Lightning to help go for big plays. We'll get to him in a minute. We are running that 1 copy of Babushka because, say for instance, you're going first, you don't know what your opponent's running, and you have 2 level 4 monsters. Go into Babushka, set this little guy up. So this little guy is called, can set up the Babushka lock, where if it's in defense mode, all monsters basically are forced into defense mode, and any monster in defense mode can't play its special ability, so it's actually not bad. Also, if it's in attack mode, it can't be destroyed by opponent's card effects, and also I don't believe it can be targeted by card effects as well, so it's actually kind of great in attack and in defense defense mode, so not a little bad card. Running one copy of Battlin Boxer Nova Kaiser. Kaiser is great for going into big plays because you can attach a Battlin Boxer from your hand or graveyard to this card as an overlay unit, not bad. It also gains 100 attack for each of his Exceeds material, so upon being summoned it will be on 2500. And when this card you control is destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can special summon as many Battlin Boxer monsters in your grave equal to its overlay units. So for instance, if you had 3 when Nova is destroyed, you get special summon 3 Battlin Boxers from your grave. If it had 4, obviously you special summon 4, the list goes on and on. It's just great to help you go into bigger plays. And then we're running again Utopia the Lightning. You exceed summon this by using a Utopia monster. And if this card battles, your opponent cannot activate any card or effects until the end phase, so it shuts down all your opponent's pesky back row should they have any set. And also it can get over big boss monsters because once per turn during damage calculation, if it battled an opponent's monster, you can attach 2 Exceeds materials. This bad boy's attack points become 5000, which is actually not a bad effect. On to some links, guys. We're rolling that Bulbasaur Dragon, help us push out games should we need it. If bad boy cannot be destroyed in battle, it has a quick effect where you can target one monster that's in attack mode, swap it to defense mode. And also, if you did this during your turn, Bulbasaur can attack twice. And should it attack a monster, it gains half that monster's attack and that monster loses half of its attacks. It's just great to seal out games. Running that one copy of IP Masquerena. I use Masquerena off every duel because it's just a safe way to go into avramax or Bulbasaur Dragon. Because you can link summon during your opponent's turn, that's her effect. And also any monster that used Masquerena cannot be destroyed by card effects. Also it's great to go into Unicorn if you need it, but just this combined with like Bulbasaur can't be destroyed by battle. Give it with Masquerena's effect, it can't be destroyed by card effects because it'll be targeted. That's why avramax is the better target for Masquerena. Using that copy of Ishtode, Two-Tail of Noble Knights. Ishtode, if it's link summoned, you get to add a warrior from your deck to the hand. Great to set up that Veil because you can just add the Veil to your hand, save it for next turn should your opponent go explosive and try and deal you damage. And also her effect is you can send any number of equip cards from your deck to the grave and then special summon a monster whose level is equal to the number of cards you sent. So if we sent 3 equip cards, you can special summon Counterpunch. If you sent 4, you can basically send one of your level 4 monsters, or special one of your level 4 monsters. That's the basic gist. It gets you a free monster on board. And Ishtode is just absolute needed for any warrior deck. Running some Nightmares, we're running Nightmare Phoenix and Nightmare Unicorn. So Nightmare Phoenix, upon being link summoned, you could discard 1 card, target one spell or trap on the field, destroy it. Great for back row removal. And as for Unicorn, same effect. When it's link summoned, you discard 1 card, but you target 1 card in the field, return it to the deck. Really great. And also if you linked summon this with Masquerena during your opponent's turn, you can kind of like get around your opponent's field, like because you can just send monsters they control up. Because you can like bounce a key card they control back into the deck, gets around a lot of plays. And also we are running finally Mech Knight Crusader avramax. If this card is link summoned, it can't be targeted by card effects. If you used it with Masquerena, it cannot be destroyed by card effects or cannot be targeted by card effects. Gives it a lot of protection. And also should avramax battle a monster that was special summoned, it can gain that monster's attack point. So basically cannot be destroyed by special monsters really by battle because it just gains that monster's attack. Really great. And if your opponent does somehow get over avramax, it has a graveyard effect where you can target 1 card in the field, shuffle it into the deck. Really great. And avramax, your opponent needs to do a lot of resources to get over because they have to kaiju it, they will have to like use cards that don't target like Stormy Mirror Force, they'll have to like if you get a Cyber Dragon player, they'll like link summon it away to go into Mega Fleet. You see what I mean? They need to use a lot of resources to get over avramax. And it's just a great boss monster. I go into him near of every duel because it's just very pesky to get around. And that's it for the deck, guys. It's actually not been a bad deck to play. It's nothing great, it's nothing outlandish, but it's still a fun deck nevertheless. And if you enjoy this deck, guys, hit that thumbs up or consider subscribing because either one does help out the deck. I will make some decks soon. I'm either making a Time Lord deck next, or I've got one more deck to make. Then I can make a Time Lord, one or the other. I'll let you just stay tuned and you'll find out which one. And with that, guys, wherever you are in the world, Take care. Goodbye. Hope you enjoy your day or night. Take care.